Times bestow Loki. Special guest classic comics. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Comic Book Roundtable. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to the Comic Book Roundtable. Thank you so very much, Mary's Game Room. Thank you. I love getting to do those. I've got to add you, Classic. You've been here so much, dude. You can't be special guest Classic Comics. We've got to get you like a character, your favorite character, and get you up.
Sounds good.
I know you can't be here all the time, but you've been here so much, bro.
Yeah.
We love having you.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be fun if you want to do that.
Okay, I will definitely do that. How is everybody out there doing tonight? Good evening, Mary's Game Room. She was first in the chat. Greetings, Peli. How are you doing tonight? Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches. Good evening, sir. Thank you so very much for being here. Keely Chow, Roll Tide, brother. Roll Tide. Hope you are doing well. Apollome's Minion. Good evening, Apollome. So good to see you. Penny. Good evening, Penny.
Hey.
Hope you are doing well. Jason Fox from 540 Studios. Hail, brother. Hope you are doing well. It is good to see you. Pat S. What is up, Pat S? Hope you are doing well.
Yo.
I'm glad I got to help you earlier. Hope that works out. Where the guys at? Larry, the man's so nice, you got to say his name twice. Larry. And he says, back when Loki was Loki. Absolutely. I love Loki in Thor and Thor 2 and in Avengers. And I mean, it just doesn't get, that's the Loki we all want. And that's the Loki we're not going to get because, oh my God, he's toxic.
We can't have any toxic Lokis.
No, except on YouTube, apparently.
Yes, that's what. Yeah, of course, it goes without saying. Yeah.
Clobberin Times, how are you doing, brother?
All right, buddy. I'm hanging in there, doing good.
Heck yeah,
ready to run.
Ready to run. We're going to be
talking run with something. Run with it. Ready to geek.
We're going to be talking about villains tonight. Classic Comics is here. Hangout 24 is at work. He's working his butt off, brother. We love you. I don't know if you're watching this right now. You're going to watch it later, but we miss you, bro. Classic, how are you doing?
Doing well. I hope it's always good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So we're going to talk about Spider-Man villains. I don't think we're going to be here next week because it's Thanksgiving. So that'll be like the night before Thanksgiving. So we've got one more week after this to talk Spider-Man, and then we're going to talk a little Fantastic Four. I know the news hit. We already triggered Clobby backstage, except he didn't get triggered. He was like, why does everybody want to trigger me?
I got triggered by the attempt at triggering because there's nothing to trigger. There's nothing to trigger when you're not surprised and when you're, you're jaded. But I promise to be triggered about something tonight. Oh, I do have something I'm triggered about, so we're good. We're covered.
Oh, okay. We gotta figure that one out. Where's Clobby?
Yes.
Where's Clobby?
I promise some triggering. Because I actually enjoy a good triggering. Don't get me wrong now. Nothing, no shame in being triggered. It's actually a good thing.
So I figured if we're going to talk Spider-Man villains, there's only one place we can start. No, it's not Venom. Venom wasn't first.
The kangaroo, right? The kangaroo, right? Oh, I thought you were going to the kangaroo.
No, this is from not
Razorback?
No. Oh, the
Sorry.
The lizard.
Razorback isn't
Oh.
really a villain, though, is he?
Yeah, well, no. He started fighting. No. Let's see. What's that skate guy? The skating guy. He was a villain.
Rocket Racer?
Yeah, Rocket Racer. There, he's the best one ever. Yeah, the Lizard is a great one. Dr. Kirk Connors. Gotta love him.
Maybe Big Wheel. We could start with Big
Oh,
Wheel.
that's a good one too. Yeah, love him.
No,
Dr. Kirk Connors, a great villain.
Yep.
Well, not Dr. Kirk, but of course, Lizard. Yeah,
The Lizard.
Yeah, he's a great villain. He's one of the best.
really. He looks so terrible in that first awful, amazing Spider-Man movie. God, look. Oh, God.
Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah, is that it? Yeah.
Oh, I hated that.
him.
I hated
So
his.
awful.
I hated his head.
Yeah.
Everything else
Garbage.
about him. Everything else about him was great except for that.
He looks terrible to me.
Right?
Yeah. He was pretty good sometimes anyway on that Spider-Man animated series, of course, but of course the classics are the old ones.
We just watched where his children come and are trying to find him. Father, we're looking for the father. He can't be the father. He's a human. We just watched that, which is the tail end of season 4. That's what he looks like in Insomniac Spider-Man.
Oh, the new game. Wow. He looks like Godzilla's baby.
I love the way he looks. He's big. He's huge. He's nasty. I loved that fight. That fight is just absolutely insane.
I'll take the classic one with the lab coat anytime. Oh
yeah. I'm just saying, as far as like the way they made him in the game, I really enjoyed that fight.
Yeah, Killer Croc.
He's not quite the same without the lab coat and the purple.
Yeah.
Right.
And the
It'd be like the
pants
Hulk without purple shorts.
Yes.
Right.
Hulk's purple pants and so is Lizard. That's the way it works.
So what did you think? And there we go. There's that
was cool.
Animated one.
And like a number of Spider-Man villains, he had all these kind of spin-off characters, like the Iguana, who was another lizard man type. And one of my personal favorites was Stegron.
Stegron was great, yeah.
The dinosaur man. I always thought he was a really good villain.
Very cool.
So that's actually the episode we watched last night, which was
this one here,
Lizard King.
First one. I think it was the one. That was a later one because the first episode actually had Lizard, but you must have watched it. Yeah.
This is season 4.
Okay.
And Kurt's trying to like permanently get rid of the lizard. He's close. And one of the things he tried, he pulled his DNA, he like extracted some of his DNA and was messing with it, and it didn't work out. He flushed it. He flushed it down the drain. Well, it gets on all these lizards in the sewer, and they grow to human form like he is.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's a fun little show.
Yeah, it is. It's
fun little Spider-Man show.
I watched all those maybe a year or so ago. A little year, and then Nick and I did a show where we talked about the whole season, the whole series, and it was pretty cool. It's they had some really bad episodes too in later seasons, but still, it was fun. It was a fun watch to go back and watch those all.
What years was that show on? It was in the 90s, right?
It was in the 90s. Yeah.
90s, early 90s until about it's like 6 or so seasons or something more. 5? Okay.
Yep.
Well, that last season was so bad. We got a lot of really bad ones.
Yep.
Secret Wars. Holy crap. And what they did to Captain America made me sick. Oh, boy.
But man, I tell you what, because I was watching, we were watching this. When I was a kid, we were watching this and we were watching X-Men. And when he shows up at the X-Mansion, and it's like, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that they're doing this. Because, Fox was running both of them. They were running X-Men and they were running Spider-Man.
So that team up was on Spider-Man, not the X-Men show, right? This was Spider-Man show.
Yeah, it was on Spider-Man.
But they were on there. Okay, I forgot for a minute, but yeah, 94 through 98 says FKHC 2005. What's up, buddy? There you go.
Yep. 94 through 98. And, the crossover was on Spider-Man, but it was all the voice talent, all of them from
Yeah, all of them, right? Yeah. Well, same guy was producing it, or some of the same people were. The producer, whose name used to be, at least on the Spider-Man, because I think it may be some different. I remember reading about how when he got or with a couple of them, whatever, they got the job to do the show. They made Marvel go buy them all the back issues of the Amazing Spider-Man run and probably some more. And at that point, they weren't. I don't think they had any Masterworks out yet. They didn't have any a lot of trades as far as reprinting them all in a row or anything like that. You had to read the original, so it could have And of course, they probably bought a lot of Marvel Tales to not mess up the old stuff, I guess. But so you had Marvel Tales, but you didn't have any big compilations or anything.
What do you guys rank Lizard as far as Spider-Man foes?
He's definitely
top 10, top 5.
Definitely top 10.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It would take some thought. I mean, I'd say top 10, yes, definitely, maybe top 5. I'd have to give it more thought.
Or should I say top 6?
Oh, he's probably my top 3 or 4. Because I mean, who? I guess I've never really given any thought who my favorite of all time Spidey villain was. I guess or probably. I love Mysterio. Actually, I do love Green Goblin. Obviously, he's his biggest. I mean, as far as biggest or his. He's I guess he's sort of Joker to to Spidey's Batman, if you will, sort of that kind of relationship in a sense, like his number one. Way Luthor's, undeniably. You may have a different villain, but Luthor's, Superman's undeniably his number one, and the Joker's undeniably Batman's number one. Even if you like another villain more, it's just the way it is. Like Doc Doom is the FF's ultimate. So I guess it's in the case of Spidey, I'd say whether he's your favorite or not, Green Goblin rates as the most important. But I love Scorpion.
Yeah.
Since you brought up Green Goblin, let's get into
Power Rangers.
Goblin.
But Lizard, I'd have my top 2 or 3 up in there.
I think you'd have to rank Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus above Lizard.
Yeah. Oh, Doc Ock. Yeah, yes.
But after that, it kind of becomes. There's a lot of where I think it's just kind of personal taste. I don't.
Yeah.
So since we brought up the Spider-Man series, it was really weird for me. Anyway.
They screwed up the Hobgoblin story and the Green Goblin story. It was terrible.
That Hobgoblin came first.
Yeah, it was really asinine. It made me sick. I like the show, but I'm just
And the voice actor for Hobgoblin, I was like, I know this voice actor. No, that's Joker. That's Mark Hamill. They had Mark Hamill voicing Hobgoblin in Spider-Man at the same time as he was voicing Joker in Batman.
He seemed to like to play villains for both Marvel and DC.
He did.
He also played Maximus on the FF cartoon, and he played. It was on that Hulk cartoon. I think he was. Oh, who was he? Crap.
That's another villain where there's been a lot of spin-offs because you had all the other Green Goblin people, and then Hobgoblin, and there was that Demo Goblin, or whatever he was called.
The demon one?
Yeah. And I don't know much about him, but I know in the last couple of years there's a Red Goblin.
I think maybe I haven't seen him. But yeah, it was asked backwards. You shouldn't have Hobgoblin before Green Goblin. That was a terrible mistake.
And we were talking a little. Me and the guys were talking about the McFarlane run of Spider-Man. I hate the Green Goblin, the Hobgoblin that's in that series. I like that series. I really like that series. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man series. But the Hobgoblin that's in that is a Hobgoblin. He is not wearing a mask. He's some mutated weirdo that steals children, and it's like, Reading that again, I was like, oh no, yeah. Now I remember I hated the Hobgoblin because they made him a real goblin. McFarlane made him a real goblin, and
yeah. Wasn't he? Well, first he was Ned Leeds, and then they changed him. He's been a bunch of different people, but he was Ned Leeds at first. Then he was Roderick Kingsley, and the story of Roderick Kingsley is kind of funny because he started in Peter Parker. He was this fashion designer who became a Medra, I guess, and he was really. No, I don't think we could talk about it on YouTube. What the controversy was back then, because it would be probably not that good of an idea to talk about it. But there was some controversy about his character, and some of the things John Byrne said about the character, and Denny O'Neil said about the character, and Roger Stern said about. Nevertheless, he did become later. Before he became Hobgoblin, he was a recurring character in Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man.
And it's funny they bring up the super soldier serum, because that connects into the animated series as well, because that's what Black Cat takes, is a version of the super soldier serum that's been updated by a scientist.
Yeah, I hated that.
This is in the cartoon, I guess.
Yeah,
this is in the cartoon.
In the cartoons, yes, super soldier serum, because their father was in the cartoon was he was a hero from the World War II or whatever, one of the heroes or whatever, wasn't a spy or something.
Well, he was a spy, but he was a kid, so he was a kid spy. He was a little kid,
right?
That they were using as a spy, but it wasn't the Allies, and they lied to him. They said, we're the good guys, and we're trying to find the Yahtzees. We want you to help us. And he had a photographic memory, so he saw the formula. And then when he went back, he was like, these guys are the Allies. Why do you have me spying on other Allies? And, they kind of laughed at him, and they were going to get him. And that's when he figured out, I've been working for the other side.
Right.
And he kept that secret the whole time. So he had the super soldier serum formula and kept it hidden. And then I think Kingpin gets a hold of it, and they give it to Black Cat because they want Black Cat to kill Spider-Man.
Yeah. In the cartoon, anyway, she didn't have any powers in the comics. She was just a Catwoman type character, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what she's supposed to be. She's not supposed to have.
God, I'm so ignorant that they did that. Ugh.
And she could morph. So she could morph from being the Black Cat, and she'd there'd be this shine that would go around her, and then she'd be Felicia Harding with the blonde hair. So she wasn't wearing a costume. It was like she could morph and change her. And they were like, how do you do that? And they were like, they upgraded the super soldier form. Okay.
That was bad. What they did to Captain America was even worse. So, oh, good Lord. Oh, Jesus.
What's up, Vic? Good evening, Vic. Bearbeard Whiskers. What's going on, guys? Good to see you all. Vic says he has the 5 seasons of Spider-Man animated series from '94 on Blu-ray. Always liked it, along with. I didn't know it was on Blu-ray. I didn't know you could get it. I think I bought it on Amazon, but it's like the streaming version.
Yeah. On Blu-ray, huh? Cool. Yeah, love the 67. Yeah, love the 67 cartoon.
Buy that for $1?
More than
I'd buy that for $1.
Might be a little bit more than that, but yeah.
So definitely top 5.
What
Green Goblin?
Yeah. For me,
he's probably number 1.
I haven't been. Well, he's changed so much, but I think he's kind of the most significant of his villains. So I guess people would say because the Venom came along and replaced him to some people's eyes, I guess. But
they never should have brought him back, in my opinion. But that's
Green Goblin.
Yeah.
After Norman making Harry the Green Goblin was a little bit,
Yeah, I could see someone else becoming Green Goblin, but bringing Norman back, I think, was kind of a reach.
So this one is definitely in my top 5. I absolutely love this character, and that is, of course, Dr. Octopus.
Doc. Agreed. Also agreed. He is again right there in the very top of Spider-Man villains.
Not this one though. Whoever drew that can eat my butt. That is horrible.
Yeah, they're not. He's been around so long. There's always got those interpretations and those, what can I tell you?
Heck, that is. But I absolutely loved Alfred Molina in Spider-Man 2. It's probably
Dave.
my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time.
He was really good, yeah.
Yeah, one of the better from comic to film villain interpretations, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Clobby, when were you introduced to Doc Ock?
First time I saw him was on the animated show from the '60s, which was my first exposure to Spider-Man as a very, very young feller. I believe Doc Ock was on an episode of that. If I'm not mistaken. And if that wasn't the case, then it was a regular issue of the comic around 1970 or 71. But ballpark. I mean, because I'm just not exactly sure when I first saw him, but I thought it was on the cartoon. So
Classic.
I think the first time I saw him in any significant way was in Spider-Man when they had that storyline where he was going to marry Aunt May.
Yeah, Ross Andrew.
Art. Yeah, that was around. What was that? Around 76, I think.
You were correct, sir.
Yeah, I think because that's right around the time I was starting to read Spider-Man.
So I saw him in a comic. It was a comic book, not. This is before the animated series came out. It was the classic. This is not classic. I don't know what the hell this tubby little bastard is, but it's kind of like this. Those are the ones he used to have. Those are the arms he used to have. Kind of. This would be more like. I don't know. I know that because of him and because I was reading some Sinister Six stuff with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I know that because of them, because of Spider-Man, I always loved telling the story. Superman got me into superheroes. As a little kid, I was like, Superman is the best. I want to be Superman when I grow up. I want to run around the house naked, wearing a blanket, saying Superman when I was really little. But Spider-Man and X-Men got me into actually reading comics. I never really got into the idea of reading Superman and Batman until after I abandoned DC and went over to Marvel, and then Superman dies and I get back into Superman and Batman. So
I suspect there were probably a lot of kids who were like that back then. Because I know that's kind of similar to me. I started out, because my first exposure was Super Friends, and that led me into DC Comics, but then I discovered Marvel, and went over to Marvel for a few years. It was really more that until they did Crisis, and then went back more to DC again.
Yeah, that's a fair call. I love them both, but yeah, I think I because there was Super Friends, but there was also the Spider-Man cartoon on in the afternoon and stuff like that. I remember now. I think on the Spider-Man cartoon, he was wearing purple. He wasn't in his regular costume, but it was Doc Ock. And I'm fairly sure that's how I first saw him. But he is again. But it's funny you mentioned that comic classic that you started, because I remember buying that and off the stands, and it wasn't my first comic or anything, but it might be the first time I really paid attention to Doc Ock. I know I'd seen him at some point, but that story, because I remember being like, hey, Mary and Aunt May. I could see the cover in my head right now. It's them at the wedding going on and Spider-Man showing up, swinging up in there.
Yeah, and he's like swinging in like, no.
Yeah. Yep. Crazy stuff.
Just a second, I'm loading something up.
I tell you, that's one significant difference from comics then and now, though, is that, they would have, the cover would have a good hook, to get your attention and grab you. And many covers now, they're just these bland, boring pieces where the hero's just standing there. Or, there's no story to it. It doesn't reflect what's in the comic a lot of the time. But of course, that's, I think, a consequence of all these variant covers they do.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And it was great because again, that was just a time where, I mean, I really love the Ross Andrews stuff. You know, I love that era. So
I honestly hate the Marvel website.
what you looking for?
I'm trying to pull up this comic that I had, and it's like,
You know the issue number? Is it a Spidey comic?
Not it's a Spidey comic. Not off the top of my head. I know it's Spider-Man. It was after
Like a McFarlane one or something?
it was after the
was called
McFarlane
Spider-Man?
one. Yeah.
And it was
And
just called Spider-Man? Yeah, I got you.
it was just Spider-Man, not the Amazing Spider-Man or anything like that. And it was the Revenge of the Sinister Six. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. Is Revenge of the Sinister Six in comics. And it's like, yeah, no, it's just not.
You go to the database or go to
I'm on Marvel Unlimited. I don't know why they're being douchey about it.
I can find it for you. I can track it down here.
As soon as I type it in, it comes up with Sins of Sinister. Okay, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Comic issue. Spider-Man. Okay, so this was the original cover. I don't know why they've got it in a hardback. Digital issue is not available. It's so stupid.
Oh, yes, it is. If you tell me the issue number, it will be.
Give me 1 second. I'll share it. They're just stupid.
That was 1990 series. Number 19?
19. Number 19. Revenge of the Sinister Six.
That's Eric Larson cover, it looks like.
It's a part 2. That's a part 2. So it'd be part 1. When I saw this, I got the entire series in Walmart in a set. All 6 issues. And it was in a box set. It hadn't been out that long. There you go. Yeah. That was it. And I read that thing over and over, and I traced it, and I was drawing it. And it had Ghost Rider, it had Hulk, it had so many different characters that all came together to fight the Sinister Six with Spider-Man because they kicked the crap out of him. They literally put him on notice and put him in the hospital. They fracture his arm. He's all tore up. He's got like a patch over his eye, and he's got this cybernetic arm. It's absolutely killer. I loved it. See, that's an even better. You can't even get that in the unlimited thing. It's so stupid.
Yeah. I personally can't stand Larson, but I hear you. Yeah.
Diabolique, which was the bonus episode you got during this like Spider-Man series.
Yeah.
So it's like they couldn't write enough to fill a whole book. So you've got this bonus thing with this bonus story that you're like, what in the heck, man?
Yeah. Them's were the days for Loki. There you go. But yeah, I can if you want to send you the link to that to read it later or what? You got it.
I've got them. They're in my collection, and they're my copies too. They're my copies that I have drug around with me for almost 30 years now. Probably 30 years.
Oh, okay. Nice. I can't stand Eric Larson. No, he needs to be. Never.
You know, when we were talking about like, you know, when I'm like my Spider-Man, there's a lot of his movement, and I understand he was trying to copy what McFarlane did.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't as good as what McFarlane did. But I love the Spider-Man in McFarlane, man. I just love the way he looks. I love the way he drew him and everything. I love it. Some of the story doesn't do that great. I love the issues with Wolverine and them hunting the Wendigo. I thought that was absolutely excellent. Oh, Spider-Man's gonna get sent to Canada and run into So I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun reading those. Okay, who's next? Let's see who's next. We did Doc Ock. What about this guy? Is he in the top 10? Is he in the top 5?
Yeah, top 5. I'd say he's number 2 on the list.
I can't see anything. What are you showing?
Oh, I was talking about Doc Ock.
Oh, Doc Ock. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I thought you showed some. You said this guy. I thought you were showing him a different one. I jumped back.
No, not this guy. Because
Electro. He, for me, I don't know. I don't know about CC, but I mean, he's up there somewhere, maybe somewhere around the top 10, because I don't think there are 10 great ones. So maybe he's a good one. Here's the thing: that cartoon, though, really another one. That's another 90s. It's a cartoon they did. Episode was horrible. With the way they did, they bring him way in late, one of the later seasons, and then they act like you would think he's Galactus. The whole episode is like he had the whole world on its knees, and it was the worst threat ever thrown to planet Earth. I'm like, wait a minute. You could do a cool Electro story. I'm fine. But Spider-Man always ended up whipping his ass, okay? One-on-one, Electro, you always beat him. This one, you thought it was Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Just web up his hands and then beat the crap out of him.
Right. And this one, no, he was a threat to the whole planet. They acted like he was Galactus. I'm like, did you guys ever read any? They claim they read all the comics. Watch the episode with Electro. Electro. It makes me sick. I'm like, wow, what is he, Galactus? It's crazy. It's really stupid. Yes, he's powerful and all that crap, but I mean, Spidey always, had him beat by the end of the episode, in the issue, usually, right? I mean,
yeah, he even had an insulated suit to prevent him from shocking him.
Yeah, it was a challenge, but it's not like he's Thanos or something. But
so what did you think about what did you two think about when they brought him back in No Way Home, but they didn't make him this blue weird?
Yeah.
At least that was something.
Yeah, I'm sure that it was just basically that Jamie Foxx didn't want to, wear those little dots on his face, that they could motion capture him and all that. That's probably why.
Yeah, probably.
Bearbeard Whiskers asked us, can we ban these bonehead actors and directors that effed up on the comics from ever producing crap ever again? Remember, if he messed up, they would get blacklisted. Can we bring that back again, please?
I'm open to it. But I think things are going to have to get a lot worse in Hollywood before they do that, unfortunately. But it's their money.
I don't want to get into this. I'm just going to say this one thing, and that's all I'm going to say. What's her name that directed the Marvels?
Nia DaCosta.
Yeah,
she got paid almost exactly what James Cameron got paid for doing Avatar 2.
What?
Yeah.
What do you get?
That is unconfirmed, but that is what is being said. That is what is going around. She got paid almost as much because equality and feelings doesn't matter what's on your resume. And she did not have the chops to direct a feature movie like that anyway. But that's what she got paid.
That's crazy.
So it's supposed to be over 20 million.
Yeah, wow.
Well, I hope they got their money's worth out of her.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm just at the point of apathy. It's their money. They want to flush it down the toilet and let them do it.
Yeah, I'm there with you on that one. Nothing they do surprises me. Or even, yeah, like you said, do what you got to do, people.
Just right on the heels of this Marvel's movie bombing, we get this Madam Web trailer that's even more laughable.
Oh my God, was that hilarious? A CW.
Like, what the frick am I even watching? Oh, God. Yeah, it looks like one of those CW shows. It's another one of these shows or movies where we're not getting the main character. It's a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man.
Yeah. Because that's what people want to see, man. They want to see a bunch of chicks
I mean, Madam Web's not a character that can carry a movie.
No.
She's not even the real Madam Web. Is that some new drivel they got going on? What's it? Madam Web as a kid?
No, I think they just, well, have you noticed, for all their talk about diversity and everything, these people churning out these Hollywood movies, they clearly are, and again, it's not exactly a revelation, but they're clearly just displaying blatant ageism, because look at friggin' Agatha Harkness. She's this old lady in the comics, so what do? They get like a 35-year-old woman to play her.
It's Agatha.
And they get Aunt May, they replace her with what's her face?
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei, and now they're taking Madam Web, another aged old woman, replacing her with Dakota.
Yeah.
Whatever her name is.
I liked Frog.
Dakota something or other, yeah. She was
really
like who?
Frog. That's all I can ever remember her name. I can't remember her name on the top of the head. The Aunt May in Amazing Spider-Man. She played Frog in Smokey and the Bandit. Yes.
Oh, Sally Field?
Sally Field, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I liked her. I did. I thought she was a great anime. Which Sinister Six version do you like best? The original Sinister Six, Kraven, Mysterio, Dr. Octopus, Vulture, Sandman, Electro, or versions that came later? The first one I ever read, Victor, was Revenge of the Sinister Six. So that was, I know Sandman had been glassed. He got turned into a glass statue by Ock. I'm pretty sure it was Ock, Vulture, Mysterio, Electro. Who's the other one? Let's see, where was I? Who it is? Oh, Hobgoblin. So we had Hobgoblin, Electro, Vulture, Doc, Mysterio.
Yeah, that original version is probably the best one.
Yeah.
I liked that.
I hate the burn one. Remember that stupid Spider-Man year one he did? With that Electro was just like white. He decided he was lazy. He was getting like snowblind. Which you could just remember the burn one?
Yeah. So top 10 Electro, top 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
For me, yeah, anyway. Which Sinister Six version like this? Original Sinister Six, obviously. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Victor Fontaine, for that $9.99 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here on Valhalla. And here's one just for you, my friend. Skull!
Spartans! What is your profession?
So, Clobby, you will actually read comics online now?
Oh yeah, what do you mean? Oh yeah, it's free. Of course. Well, I use it for reviewing and stuff. You got I read a lot of comics. If they ever made any good ones, I'd even want to buy them. But
have you bought anything new?
I bought some. Let's see. I bought some of these facsimiles that they're becoming that does not count. So I think the last. There may have been another one after. Don't quote me on this, but I think the last new thing I bought was something that CC reviewed on his channel. Is an Adventures War Across Time by Paul Levitz and Alan Davis. Let's see. After that, I don't think I've touched a new comic at all. Any new comic. I've read a couple just to see what they were like. And yes, if I like it, I'm going to go out and buy them. So I have read a few new ones because they're all out there. You can find them, easy to read them. And I took a look at, for example, I did read the first 2 issues of that new Michael Straczynski Captain America title. Oh, boy.
Oh, was that out already?
Yeah, I love Babylon 5, but he almost never could write superheroes for my satisfaction anyway.
I never like his stuff when he's on like a big established character, but his stuff
me either.
When he's like, I liked Rising Stars, that was good. And I liked his.
I love the 12. I loved.
Yeah, the 12. That's really good. I
So
did a
good.
review of that on my channel. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
really? Cool.
good.
The two of us that liked it. That's cool.
His Squadron Supreme Power. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, his stuff on like Spider-Man was
Oh
bad,
man,
and
Superman, Brave and the Bold
and
book,
yeah.
awful. Oh boy, not good.
So we got a couple more here that I want to go over. You can't do a Spider-Man talk without Mysterio. You just can't. Not this goober. This guy. I don't know who that goober is, but this guy, not that guy.
I love Mysterio.
If you want to get triggered, Clobby, look at that.
Why is it? Who put a scroll in there?
He was a scroll all along.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Shit.
Oh my goodness! Well, isn't that nice? He's a scroll. Jesus Christ! Dear, oh,
So
dear, oh dear.
I got asked the other night, what is Mysterio's power? I'm like, well, he doesn't really have like.
He just uses
power.
tricks.
It's all special effects, and he was a special effects artist,
stuntman, and special effects artist, all that kind of crap. Yeah, and he was a pretty good villain. He looked so cool. I mean, that's one of the coolest looking villains.
Yeah, it's a great Dicto design.
Indeed. So he's pretty cool, villain wise. I mean, looks. He just looked, yeah. Let's see here. There he is. That looks cool right there. That is cool.
Victor says, I remember Venom joining for a while. I even remember the Sinister Six from Civil War, Doc Ock, Grim Reaper, Lizard, Shocker, Trapster, and Vulture.
Trapster, a.k.a. Paste Pot Pete.
Paste Pot Pete.
There's so many others came in later. I think there was one version where Speed Demon was in it.
I don't know why they just don't leave the team alone, but I guess they got to reinvent it constantly, don't they?
Remember, that's another thing. They screwed up big time on that cartoon. They couldn't get the roster of the Sinister Six right. It's just, man, anyway.
Well, we almost had Sinister Six in No Way Home. Almost. Didn't quite happen that way, though, did it?
They were close, just a few shy, huh?
You had Sandman there. You had Doc Ock there. You had Green Goblin there.
Yeah.
You had a Goblin there. Electro. God, no. Paul Giamatti as Rhino. No.
I hate that. A good actor and all that stuff. That was just so ridiculous.
It was just he's an odd choice for that role. He actually would have been a really good Doc Ock, I think. But
yeah, but not only that, the stupid suit, that's not the Rhino. And again, one of the things I hated in that movie is that they were going to have, their plan was that the Sinister Six was all going to be because of Oscorp. Like, yeah, shut up. I hate that. I was glad they never got to do that shit.
No, I you know what? Paul Giamatti's funny. I like his acting enough. He was great in Planet of the Apes, even though that movie bombed. He taught half the cast how to do gorilla shit, which was absolutely awesome. And act like apes. If you ever watched the behind the scenes of the Planet of the Apes one he was in.
Which one was he in? That stupid Tim Burton movie?
Yeah, he was in the Tim Burton.
That was awful. I hate that movie. So no, I only saw it except for the movie one time. That's all.
He's like, if you watch the special features, he's like, walking around as an orangutan without the suit on or anything. He's just like, I've got to get into character, and you're like, yeah, dude. And he looks like one too. He's like walking around on his fists and all kinds of stuff, and you're like, he really like dove into that. But he's in the beginning of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 as some crazy truck driver that's trying to steal nuclear weapons, and then they bring him back as Rhino with the
and again, it was really stupid. That scene the scene itself at the end there, which I don't like the movie much, but I actually thought that was kind of a fun scene. You know, when he's going to go fight him.
Yeah, I love that opening when he's in the truck and everything. I think that's a great opening to the movie. It's really fun and entertaining, but he's just an odd choice to play Rhino. I don't know.
And they could have kept him in the truck and just done it that way, and no Rhino suit like that. Oh no, I think they were trying to copy Iron Man.
Oh, I'm sure that was part of it. Yeah. Well, like you said, the whole thing was that they were trying to establish Oscorp as being behind all the villains, and I'm sure we would have found out that suit was made by Oscorp at some point or something.
What would you have thought if they'd made Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4 with Bruce Campbell
as Mysterio?
As Mysterio, I would have loved that.
I did for that, all for it. Hell yeah.
I mean, how can you say no to that?
I'm all in. That'd be great, man.
I mean, just okay. If Toby doesn't want to come back, and Toby doesn't want to, and Toby's crying like a little bitch, replace him and bring Bruce back as Mysterio, and you can still do a movie. I don't know. I think that was the biggest mistake Sony did. As much as I like the first Andrew Garfield movie, I hate the second one. I used to hate the first one. I did. I used to hate the first one. I went back and rewatched it. I know you do, bro.
Sorry.
Because I did. I was so pissed. I was like,
unnecessary for me to say that. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't. You're good. I hated it. I hated the first Andrew Garfield movie. I hated it. I watched it once. I said, I'm never watching this again because I thought they rebooted it too early. Yeah. I was still attached to Toby.
Good point.
As Spider-Man. And I will admit I let that get in the way of why I didn't like it, Comic Relief Crusader, because I watched it again recently. I actually really liked the first movie. I do. I watched the second one and I was like, ugh. Everybody from Harry to Electro.
That whole Green Goblin thing they did was bad.
I liked Garfield in both of them. By the way, his Spidey, when he's in even though I don't like his costume in the first one, I think it was better in the second. He's great because he's actually acting like Spider-Man. Maguire, those movies are good and all that stuff. I guess his first two, the third was terrible, but he never acts like Spider-Man when he's in the Spider-Man costume. Whereas they went out of their way to make Garfield do that when he's Spider-Man. Not only that, when you look at Garfield in those movies, like he looks like Steve Ditko drew him, like the skinny Peter Parker of the early issues.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's kind of so. I like him. He's not the problem with me at all. I like him. And there's better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Andrew being Spider-Man is fine.
Even in the second movie, which sucked, the Spider-Man scenes are pretty good.
Yes. It's just everything else in the second movie. I hate it. But it took me a while. It's taken me a while to get past, to give it another chance, basically. I gave it another chance. And even Eris was like, okay, do you like it because everything's so bad now? And I said, no, I don't think I gave Garfield a chance at the time because I was like, it's too early to do this. Why are you doing this? We just had the last movie with Toby. Let it sleep, let it rest, and we'll start again later. And I don't think he got a chance to be enough Spider-Man. I really do love. I love No Way Home. I thought No Way Home was great. I think that's one of the best Spider-Man movies they've made because they brought everybody together, and I thought that was cool. And they even had a nod to what happened to Gwen Stacy in the second movie. They get, he's like, somebody died. And he talks about it. He's like, took me a while to get over it. But now I'm with somebody and she's really cool. And you know who he's talking about. So at least in one of them, Peter Parker ended up with Mary Jane and got to be happy.
Yeah.
But some people never like that. Gwen Stacy's always going to be the one for them. So let them have Gwen Stacy. I don't care. I grew up reading about Mary Jane being married to Peter. And even though she was like, "Where are you going now?" He's like, "You know me, I'm off to save the day. Go get him, Tiger." She loved him. She cared about him. Yeah, there were some times where she was like, "You have to go now," and he's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "All right, I love you. I understand." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is the most understanding, cool chick ever. This is the ultimate superhero girlfriend. She's got superpowers all because he's that understanding that he is Spider-Man and this is his life too. Being Spider-Man is as much part of his life as she is."
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, Andrew Garfield's an idiot. Yeah, but as a person, comic consider, but yeah, but I still thought he did a good job in the role as when he's Spidey in particular. But yeah, he's a moron, of course, a Hollywood fool.
Yeah, I'm not talking about, the actor.
Person, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm talking about him as Peter Parker.
agreed.
So top 10, top 5,
Oh,
Mysterio.
yeah. Mysterio, yes, sir.
Top 10.
All right, you guys
I'm
are
a
gonna hate me.
top tenner as well.
Clobby may hate me, but we have to go here at least once.
That's okay. I don't hate him.
Just because of, I can't even get.
He's an important villain. He's a biggie.
There. That's more. It's more like what I read.
He's not my bag, baby, but he's a biggie, and people love him. So what are you gonna do? And he's way better than any kind of crap. In fact, I really didn't mind him so much until he started trying to make him he became having his own title and all this other kind of crap. But as a villain, fine. I just got overboard with all the drivel they did to him. I don't know. Just me, maybe. Whatever.
You mean how they made him like Lethal Protector?
Yeah, I remember that when that comic came out and I was putting it out on the shelf. I was like, this with that red glaring cover. Like, who wants this crap? I didn't,
Well, I tell you what, I bought the Venom Omnibus recently, the hardback Venom Omnibus. It's got like 50 comics in it, but it's Venom versus Spider-Man. They had three different hardback omnibuses. They had Venom versus Spider-Man, which is the one I bought, which on the cover has Spider-Man laying there all messed up and Venom's like reaching out to kill him with blood on his hands. The other one, which was one of the really good comic book covers. The other one is just Venom, and then there is Venom Lethal Protector.
Mm-hmm. He's popular.
I wouldn't spend the money because I spent some money. This is a big hardback. This is a beautiful hardback omnibus. I wouldn't have spent that money on Lethal Protector. I just wouldn't have. I'm not that into Lethal Protector. But when he's fighting Spider-Man and when he teams up with Spider-Man to fight Venom or to fight Carnage, that's my whole thing right there. I love that. That's when I'm still reading Spider-Man, still love Spider-Man. Venom was one of the most dangerous characters Spider-Man could fight because his spider sense didn't work against Venom. Venom had all his powers. So Peter couldn't go toe to toe with him because he was faster. He was stronger. He had to be smarter than Venom.
Yeah.
He had to use Venom's weaknesses, the sound.
Yep. Cool. I'm all cool with that stuff. Yeah, it just became a little bit over. It became he was so 90s, really. I know it didn't start in the 90s, but he was so 90s a character where people were just, all these people were into these so-called edgy characters like him and Spawn, all these characters that looked like villains, but they were turning them into heroes. It was something at the time. I'm just at my age, I was different from the younger readers, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like that trend in comics. Spikes and armor and, edgy creatures becoming, the anti-heroes and all that kind of crap. That's why I was sick of the big two because of a lot of that stuff.
I'll be right back. Give me just a second. I'll be right back.
That's cool. No problem.
I'm not abandoning you. I'm just going to grab it. That way I can show Vic what I got.
Cool. Yeah, buddies. So, there's Venom.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm not the biggest fan of Venom. And yeah, he was way overexposed in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And he's another character they did a lot of spinoffs of course, Carnage. Yeah. And I was okay with that, but then they did all those other ones. I've lost track of how many there are.
Oh, God, no.
And it's another character where it's like everybody gets to be Venom now for like a minute.
Like Flash Thompson was Venom, right? For some point, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just they do all these mashups now. It's like everyone gets to be Venom, everyone gets to have the Phoenix Force for a minute, everyone gets to have
I
Thor's
hate
hammer for a minute. It's just like
right.
whatever.
I hate that crap.
It's like you really have no ideas, do you? You really have nothing.
Indeed.
So that is the omnibus. It is
Nice.
I mean, it's a book. So you get all of that. You get all of that. It's Venom versus Spider-Man, all those comics in hardback, plus like a thing that has some stuff from then and some advertisement stuff and some extra stuff that was in it. So I have not started reading this yet.
24 would get triggered if you showed him that.
Oh yeah, he would. He definitely would. Why didn't you just? Oh my God, turn the camera off. I didn't want to stop sharing. Yeah, why didn't you just buy the comics, bro?
Because it look nicer this way. Sorry.
Well, I if I buy the comics, I'm not going to read the comics
Exactly.
because I don't want to hurt them.
And that stuff, especially the Golden Age of Silver stuff, and that stuff's deteriorating. It's not going to last forever. That paper if those books that you've got there in that omnibus is one thing. They were printed on a lot more sturdy paper than the comics of the Golden and Silver, and even early newsprint of the Bronze Age.
So
Venom.
I did have the opportunity a couple of days ago to get the entire Chris Claremont run of X-Men in very nice condition.
Of X-Men?
Yeah.
Or what? Oh,
Uncanny X-Men.
That's a long run.
It was basically an entire long box.
If he got paid by the word, he'd be a billionaire.
Oh yeah,
Claremont. I was just reading some because when he first started X-Men, he was doing a Marvel team up for a while. Just for the hell, I was reading some of his old Marvel team ups, which were fun. Even in those, man, not as bad as X-Men, but he was some wordy mother. Ooh.
And just to clarify, I didn't. I had the opportunity to. I was offered the opportunity, and then she told me how much, and I was like, "Yeah, I can't do that."
You've enabled Victor. He's going to have to go get it now. Sorry, Victor. You've enabled him just like Mark D with the C does.
Well, I try. Thank you, Vic. I try. I love the hardback stuff, guys. That's like when I see a collection I love. I got X-Men Mutant Genesis on hardback, and I got because I got buy two get one free. I got X-Men Mutant Genesis on a hardback. I got this, and I got Days of Future Past.
When I find a cheap omnibus, dude, because sometimes you can get lucky and get one pretty dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And so this one Insox Trades, by the way, it's got they got some pretty cheap omnibuses on there. But
nice, Vic. Nice.
I found it. Vic, check instocktrades.com when you look for omnibuses. You never know, because sometimes they're 62% off. Sometimes not quite that much. For example, I remember getting that Superman Batman Generations Burn omnibus for like $41. That's a big one. But then you get really lucky at Ollie's sometimes. I got a buddy of mine got at Ollie's a few months back. He was in Mississippi, and he picked me up it's the Jack Kirby Bronze Age omnibus that's all of his work that wasn't his Fourth World stuff, all the incidental work. It's 1,400 pages. I could barely lift the sucker. I mean, freaking crane to lift it.
Oh yeah, well, you remember that
$36 for a $150 omnibus.
Yep, you remember that Avengers one, that Jack Kirby Avengers one? I sent you a picture of. It's giant. It was giant, and I was like,
that's
if
the
I
vibranium.
bought that, because it's vibranium. Because me and Eris were like, oh my God, Clobby would go nuts. And she's like, how are we going to get into him? I'm like, we'd have to hide it and like lug it out there because there's no way we can ship that for under $100.
No, because remember, I got that's called the Vibranium edition from the 75th anniversary. I got the Captain America one. It's a $225 cover price on the Captain America one. Ollie's had it for $40. Back 3-4 years ago, I walked out of the store because I can't really spend that kind of money much. And my Claude and I were walking out, and I said, We got outside. I said, I'm going to hate myself if I don't go back and get that. I said, yep. So we had to basically have a wheelbarrow to get it out to the truck. It's like, it's not a coffee table book. It's a coffee table without legs, but it's beautiful. And there's very little filth in it. It's mostly good stuff, good Captain America stuff in it. And
so what do you? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you guys. Oh my God, is that Venom spawn? Yeah. Venom, top 10, top 5. His effect on Parker. What do you think?
I'd make him a top 10 myself, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who would say top 5.
I'm gonna say top 10 too. As much as I like the how dangerous he was, I think other people kind of stole the show.
As Pops mentions there, no, I'm good. I mentioned Kangaroo already. I'm gonna say that I would put Venom somewhere in about top 20 or 40, maybe. Definitely behind guys like Big Wheel that you mentioned earlier, and Kangaroo. I like Kangaroo better, and I like Big Wheel and is that Racer Dude or whatever? Was it Rocket Racer? Remember him?
Rocket Racer. Yeah.
Right. I would put those guys ahead, of course.
How about Man Mountain Marco?
Yes, and yeah, and
it's Titty
Hammerhead and Hammerhead too. Oh God, I put Hammerhead over him, of course.
Hold on, I want to see something.
Silvermane.
Because I saw a really good Mary Jane as Venom. I saw a really good cover the other day. No, that wasn't it.
Doesn't Mary Jane have powers now? Isn't she like a superheroine or something?
No, really.
Seems like I remember seeing that. I don't know.
I don't see it here. I don't know. It was a really good cover. I was at the comic book store and I saw that. Yeah. There it is. This one.
Yeah.
I was like, I would put that on my wall. I'm sorry. I understand it might like drive people nuts.
It's cool to
but that is lovely enough that I'm like,
it is lovely.
Holy crap. I want that on my wall. I want a poster of that. I want to poster that comic book.
Yeah. Chris, I like Tarantula. I like him. He's pretty cool. Scorpion's great, and
Oh yeah, we didn't even hit Scorpion
or Vulture.
We're Vulture or Sandman. Dude, Sandman's one of my favorites. Sandman's at least in top 5 or top 10, probably top 5 for me.
Oh man, yeah, he's right in my top 2 or 3, 4, and Vulture's up there somewhere. Beetle, I actually like the Beetle. He's a weird looking dude. Scorpion and Tarantula. There's so many good ones. Kingpin, of course. I don't care if he's a Daredevil villain now. Kingpin's a Spider-Man villain first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Let's see, I wouldn't put that up, but I'd put that one up.
Nice.
All right, guys. What do you got? What do you got coming up, Clobby?
At the top of the hour at 9 Central, it is Doctor Who month on Clobberin Times, and tonight I'll be talking about basically just talking to my audience about Doctor Who in general, our favorite doctors and favorite Doctor Who companions. We're going to focus on that a little bit, and then other Doctor Who type stuff. Because a week from tonight, we'll do our top 20. I'll count down my top 25 Doctor Who stories, but tonight we'll just do that, and of course, Clubhouse tomorrow night and Saturday night Star Trek. We'll be oddly enough Saturday night. And since this is a comic stream, I will say that if any of you are interested in Jack Kirby's Fourth World, my great buddy J-Man on his channel on Friday nights, 6 Central, 7 Eastern. Yep. We've been reviewing Jack Kirby's classic Fourth World. We've been almost all the way through it now. We've got like 3 or 4 more shows to go. J-Man and Sean and myself are having a blast doing it. Comics work great. So thanks for having me, buddy. Appreciate it. Good to see all you guys out there.
Thank you, brother, for being here. Classic. What do you got coming up?
Well, I did just put out my review of the Marvels a few days back over the weekend, so I hope you'll check that out. As far as what's next, I'm not really sure. I'm kind of in the midst of getting some assignments done, but I do have a stack of independent comics I need to get through. So maybe do a review of Cyber Frog here before the end of the week. We'll see.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Guys, we will not be back next week because of Thanksgiving. So it's not before Thanksgiving. I will be there that morning, but I will not be there Wednesday night. So I will be out with family. So really sorry about that. We will be back the week after that, where we're going to have our last stream on Spider-Man. We're going to close out Spider-Man with your favorite Spider-Man moments. I want to hear from you guys. what your favorite Spider-Man moments are. We will talk about what our favorite Spider-Man moments are. And then we are going to move on to the Fantastic Four. That has nothing to do with the recent news. So I wanted to do Spider-Man. Spider-Man was my idea. I know Clobby loves Fantastic Four, so I was like, you know what, we'll do Fantastic Four next.
Sure.
And then we're gonna ask 24, and we're gonna ask Classics to give us comic ideas, and then we'll rotate back around unless we have a guest or something that wants to talk about that can make it for a whole month. We'll rotate back around, and I'll pick something. I'll probably pick like Weapon X or Wolverine. It'll be something. I don't know. I'll probably go Marvel again, and then once we rotate around, I'll do DC. Maybe I might do DC. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. But Fantastic Four next month. Thank you guys so very much for being here, for hanging out with us. Thank you, Comic Relief Crusader, Dave C. Victor Fontaine, Pops. What's up, brother? Penny. Good evening, Penny. Snowdub. What is up, brother? Tuck and roll, my friend. Thank you guys so very much. June Wong. What is up, brother? Thank you for being here. Mary's Game Room. Thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Memes. What's up, Memes? We were talking comics. Thank you guys so very much. Larry, the man's so nice. You got to say his name twice. Kizzy0975. Psychodwarf 9. What is up, my friend? Everybody that comes out, hangs out with us in these. Thank you. Thank you so very much. You all have a great night. Take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak, friend, enter. Boy, that was a long ending. Have a great one, everybody.